If you're a combat sport athlete and you want to look, feel and perform your best, but you're not quite sure what or how much to eat to achieve that, today I'm going to explain exactly how to create your own DIY meal plan to take the stress out of knowing what to eat to achieve your goals. In order to do that, step one is to know your goal. You need to know, do you want to lose weight? Do you want to maintain your weight? Or do you want to gain weight? Once you've set your goal, we need to set an appropriate calorie intake to achieve that goal. And there are two parts to calculating your maintenance calories. Step one is to take your body weight in kilograms, times it by 22 if you're a female, and times by 24 if you're a male. That's going to provide an estimate of your basal metabolic rate, just the calories needed to keep you alive. Step two is me to add an activity multiplier to account for how much you move throughout the day, not only at work, but also your planned exercise. So you're going to times your answer in step one by 1.2 if you exercise between 0 to 1 times a week, 1.4 if you exercise 2 or 3 times a week, 1.6 if you train 4 to 7 times per week, and 1.8 if you're training twice a day. So let's do an example up here. Let's say 60 kilogram female wanting to maintain weight. So we take 60 times by 22 is 1,320. So if that person didn't move, just lay in bed all day, that's how many calories they'd burn at rest. And let's say they train 5 or 6 days a week. So we'll use a 1.6 multiplier. And that's 2,112. So we could say 2,100 to 2,200 calories as their maintenance requirements. Now, if their goal is maintenance, then they would just eat that amount. Simple as that. If they wanted to lose weight, then you would subtract an amount from that. A good starting point is about 500 calories per day. And that would allow you to lose about 0.4 to 0.5 kilograms or about a pound per week. On the other hand, if their goal was muscle gain, then you'd add a little bit more of a conservative amount. You don't want to add like 500 calories above it because then you're going to put on a load of fat along with that muscle. So I normally recommend adding about 1 to 200 calories on top of that maintenance. So if the 60 kilogram female wanted to lose weight, we'd say maybe about 1,600 to 1,700 calories based on their activity level. Or if they wanted to put on some muscle, then we might have a higher intake of about 2,200 to 2,300. But for this example, they want to maintain weight, so let's not overcomplicate things. So we know their goal, we've set their calories. Now we need to split these calories into macronutrients, so protein, carbs, and fats. Now we want to set protein somewhere between 1.5 to 2.5 grams per kilogram of their body weight. We want to set fats somewhere between 0.5 to 1.5 grams per kilogram. And then carbs, basically the rest of the calories. But for a fat loss phase, we are trying to drop weight, ideally somewhere between 3 to 5 grams per kilogram. Keeping it minimum of 3 grams per kilogram is going to help to support performance during phases where you are trying to lose weight. 5 to 7 grams per kilogram during a weight maintenance phase where you're maximally focused on performance and just maintaining your weight. Or 7 to 8 grams per kilogram in some cases where you're trying to gain that weight. The way we're going to set that, nice and simple. Protein will set at 2 grams per kilogram. Fats will set at 1 gram per kilogram. And the carbs will be the rest. So they're a 60 kilogram female. 60 times 2 is 120 grams of protein. 60 times 1 is 60. Now, to work out their grams of carbs, what we need to do is a little bit of math. So bear with me. Protein, carbs, and fats each have a different number of calories per gram. Protein is 4, carbs are 4, and fats are 9. So to work out how many calories from protein, we do 120 times 4. That's 480 calories of protein taken up from that 2,100 to 2,200 budget. Fats contain 9 calories per gram. 60 times 9 is 540. So out of the total budget, we've already taken up 480 plus 540, which is 1,020 calories from the protein and carbs. Then what we need to do is allocate the rest of the calories in that budget to carbs. So let's take the midpoint here, 2,150 minus 1,020 is 1,130 calories left for carbs. To convert the calories back into grams, we don't times it by 4, we do it the other way. We divide it by 4, which is 282.5 technically. Let's call it 282 grams of carbs. So their protein, 120 grams, their carbs, 282 grams, and their fats, 60 grams, and that will fall out pretty much slap bang in the middle of their calorie range. Now I know that last step was a little complex, don't worry. This next step is very simple. The number of meals per day, I recommend 3 to 5 meals per day. And you can sit anywhere in that range you like, but for most people, I recommend 4 as a good starting point. And that's normally breakfast, lunch, an afternoon meal, or a pre-trained snack if you're training in the evening, and then a dinner. And they should be spaced about 3 to 5 hours apart. If you're eating more frequently than every 3 hours, then you're basically just constantly eating throughout the day. And if you're leaving it more than like 5-6 hours, then you're going to be hangry between those meals and you might not be able to stop yourself from overeating when you finally do eat. So 3 to 5 meals every 3 to 5 hours. A nice simple rule to follow. And like I said, 4 is a pretty good starting point. So let's do a quick recap of where we're at. 2,100 to 2,200 calories, 120 grams of protein, 282 grams of carbs, 60 grams of fat, spread across 4 meals. Now, the final step is to translate those numbers into actual foods. We don't eat protein, carbs, and fats. We eat real foods. So we need to convert them. Now, every meal is going to follow the same basic framework. You want to include a protein source, a carbohydrate source, and then the 3 Fs, fat, fiber, and flavor. So protein is going to be any meat, fish, eggs, poultry, dairy, tempeh, tofu for vegans and vegetarians. Carbs going to be bread, rice, pasta, potatoes, noodles, legumes like lentils, peas, and chickpeas, which are also a great source of protein and fiber as well. Fats are going to be things like oils used for cooking or used as a dressing, nuts, seeds, avocado, and then animal fats contained in dairy, meat, and fish. Fiber is going to be fruit or veg. Flavor is going to be any fresh or dry herbs and spices, salt, pepper, paprika, cumin, garlic, chili, things like that. And then sauces or condiments, chili sauce like sriracha, hot sauce, mayo, ketchup, barbecue sauce, salad dressings, whatever you like. So let me walk you through how we'll translate those numbers into foods. So for breakfast, protein source, just some whey protein or any protein powder really, oats, peanut butter for fats, and berries for some fiber. For lunch, eggs for protein, and there's some fats contained in there as well. Sourdough toast for some carbs. You can have some butter on the toast, and there's also some fats in the eggs as well. Salad and a dressing for some flavor. Afternoon, some Greek yogurt with some cereal, some nuts and a banana, and that'll make a great pre-training snack if you're training in the evening. And then finally for dinner, chicken with some noodles. That could be whole wheat noodles, egg noodles, or any type that you enjoy really, with some extra virgin olive oil used to cook the chicken, and some mixed vegetables, just any types you like. That could just be fresh vegetables chopped. It could be a stir-fry bag of pre-chopped mixed vegetables, or it could just be frozen mixed veg that you just microwave or boil for a few minutes. And then flavoring, I've put sriracha here. That could just as easily be anything else you like. Could be soy sauce if you want to have it as a stir-fry. And finally, to set the portion sizes of each of these ingredients, what you're going to do is you're going to divide your total calories into a per meal budget. So 2,100 to 2,200 divided by those 4 meals, you're going to save roughly 525 to 550 calories per meal. It doesn't have to be bang on, but at least if you know per meal, you need to aim for that on average. If one meal is higher or lower, then you're going to have to make up for that. And what you're going to do is you're going to enter these ingredients in a tracking app like Cronometer, MyFitnessPal, MacroFactor, something like that. And then you're just going to play around with the portion sizes a little bit until you hit within your calorie range and either at or slightly above your protein target. And to be honest, 99% of people, if they can hit their calories and protein, they don't really need to worry about the carbs and fats as long as they're not hugely skewed one way or another. So I will give carb and fat recommendations to my clients, but I will tell them just focus on calories and protein. If I notice at our check-ins that the carbs and fats are getting skewed too far one way or another, then we can make some adjustments. But really, I can't think off the top of my head of any situations where we've had to make any adjustments there. As long as you're eating a balanced mixed diet with components, protein, carbs, fat, fiber, etc., like I've recommended in this video, then 99% of the time, you're going to be getting enough carbs, you're going to be getting enough fats, and worrying about hitting those targets bang on is not going to be worth the extra mental effort you'll have to use. So calories and protein should be your priorities. And it's as simple as that. If you want to take out the DIY aspect of this and have me do all the diet planning and programming for you, then there'll be links below to all the different ways I can help you, both free and paid. And if you enjoyed this video, then YouTube recommends that you'll like this video next.